Yo, wake up. We got a show to do.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Extra Step. I want to go back to sleep, so you're here with your favorite host in the world, Kay and Derwin. How you doing, my dog?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you guys doing?
I'm blessed.
Doing all right?
He's going to run the show today. I'll talk to you guys
Hope
later.
everyone's having a good long weekend while this guy naps. Can't even say anything. I hope you guys are doing good. So, obviously we're here to talk about basketball. That's what we do. No, we don't do that. All right.
I want to go get a mattress and sleep, and then.
You don't want to film this show.
No.
That's he's letting you guys know he doesn't want to film
No,
today. So.
I don't want to.
That's pretty rude.
I'm joking. I know today's a good day.
It's a great
Caravana
weekend, exactly.
Right,
exactly.
so everyone's
we have a
turning
bunch
up.
of NBA players that showed up to Toronto, party up.
Yes, bare Toronto mans and gals turning up.
Exactly.
LeBron's turning up all the
And
time.
and speaking of turning up, that's what NBA players do in the off season. So there's really not much for us to talk
So that's
about.
what we're paying them to do?
Yeah, just to turn up in the off
So
season.
yeah, we just give you.
Well,
We might as well give Kyle like 13
yeah.
man to go like turn up and just say.
No, you can't say that because some of them they're in the gym right now. I can't even lie. There's probably
Who?
a lot of players. I saw the Raptors. Some of the Raptor players were in the gym last night.
Well, yeah, because they're going to care about that today, boy.
That's it. So no one's playing today, bro. That's all we know.
I know. They're enjoying themselves. Everyone's enjoying themselves. We're here working hard because we want to get better and we want to give you guys all the content
Exactly.
in the world.
So we decided because it's
it's a new era in the NBA.
yeah, and also it's the off season. There's really not much that we could do. So we decided to do a ranking system.
Yeah.
So over the next several weeks, we'll rank a bunch of topics, ideas, stuff that you guys even have.
Yeah.
We can go forward with that. Rank them. Today we're gonna do the top 10 best duos in the league this year, coming up, and next year included. So for the next 2 years, who by the end of 2021 is that what you said?
Yeah.
What duo is gonna win the most championship? What duo is gonna make the most noise? We have our top 10 list. We obviously made our list earlier, and
we're gonna discuss on it. I will tell y'all this: we definitely don't have everything the same.
yeah, we definitely have disagreed on a lot.
He definitely sees things differently. There's a lot of cracks, so that's why. But hey, that's what happens to do cracks. Sometimes you make some crazy decisions. So.
Apparently, I do crack, and
Yes.
he does crystal meth, so it's all good.
I like crystals, but I don't like meth.
Yeah, you do. You little mess. That's horrible. So do you want to let's just get into it because I don't really.
Yeah, get into it.
So we're gonna start at number 10.
Yeah.
Let's just talk into it. What's your number 10?
Well, as y'all can see, I got Lonzo and Zion. Honestly, these guys, they're about to throw off this league. I don't think a lot of people understand that Zion is a guy that loves to run down the floor. Lonzo is a quarterback that is 6'7", can play defense, can go and dunk the basketball once he gets stronger and a little bit more confidence. I see what your braids here in Caravana this weekend, boy. I see what you're ready for. So I like their confidence, their swagger. I see alley-oop after alley-oop after alley-oop in New Orleans. Those two are going to be a problem. I don't know how you stop that.
Okay, and for my list, for my list, I took Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I don't know why you have Lonzo and Zion in a top 10 for the next 2 years. They're about a year away, I would say, from actually making a lot of noise in the NBA. We have to give Zion his ability to. I'm not calling him out of shape because there's a lot of stuff that, but his injuries, like his knee injuries, has kind of scared me over the last couple of 9 months, I would say, when he was injured at Duke and now he's injured in the summer league. So I'm a little worried about that, but I'm also going to see how his development in the league. You see there's so many NBA players that come into the league, first overall picks, second overall picks, whatever it is, and they don't make it sometimes because they don't realize the grittiness of the league, how bad it is. He's a God-given talent. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm just saying that I think he's a year or so away.
I understand that you're saying he's from this. But
now,
you know what? This is a new NBA.
You're right.
LeBron came into the league firing out of nowhere.
No, you're right. But
so why can't Zion and can do it?
But we're comparing him to a great superstar, and we can't do that to We can't do that to Zion yet because Zion has not played one NBA game.
That's fine. I think Lonzo's going to make him better.
I agree,
Lonzo
Lonzo will
put him in
make him
position.
better, but I just don't see him in a top 10 right now.
I'm telling you, they're top 10 defensively itself. They deserve to even be questioned into that.
Even offensively, like Lonzo and Zion's shot both worries me. Like they're both not great shot creators for themselves. They can't even. Their catch and shoot numbers.
Their games complement each other.
That's fine.
It's just a transition
that's fine.
game.
Okay. In transition, sure. All right. In transition,
Okay.
they'll beat us. They'll beat everybody. You saw that when Lonzo was actually with the Lakers. The reason they were one of the fastest teams in the league was when Lonzo was healthy. I'll give Lonzo credit for that. I'm just not saying that it's gonna be that easy for Zion to come into the league right away and start dominating like how a player like LeBron did.
Okay, so what if Lonzo, let's just say, gets a pick and roll with Zion? You can't stop that either in half court.
You kind of can because like it depends like who's guarding Zion. Let's be honest.
Listen, first of all, you giving me slack on Zion and Lonzo being the top 10. My brother, you got Simmons and Embiid as your 10. These brothers need to be higher. So,
okay,
first of all, before you talk on why Lonzo and Zion, why you got Simmons and Embiid so low?
So for me, I have a lot of issues with Ben Simmons' game. I have a lot of issues with Joel Embiid's game.
Okay.
Obviously, as a Toronto Raptors fan, I might be a little biased just because, you know, it's the 76ers. They're in our division. I don't like them. We face them too much. But I will say this about Embiid and Simmons. The spacing on the floor, when they're on the floor together, is not good at all. For the NBA, the way the NBA is today, the spacing on the floor is horrible because they realize Ben Simmons don't got a jumper and Joel Embiid inconsistent with his jumper. When you're talking about at the rim, we understand that Joel Embiid's post game and even Ben Simmons' post game is really good. I'm probably going to next year. They're both gonna get better, but my problem is Joel Embiid's health. The reason I didn't put them lower on this list is because in the next 2 years, I don't know how many injuries Joel Embiid's going to suffer. I understand, you said it earlier, I understand they have Al Horford now. He's going to relieve a lot of stress from Joel. They're probably going to put him under load management, and that's probably all going to happen. But he's an injury-prone player. The man has not played more than 30 games consecutively in his career, and he's been in the league for like 4 years, technically, now.
Okay, that's fine. I understand that. He's not the healthiest. For Philly to be a winning team, that's not a concern because there's a reason why they got Al Horford. And you said you brought it up. They brought it up because, if you want to sit and beat down, you got Al Horford. It's called load management. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I think Embiid will be fine. I think Embiid will be fine.
I'm just.
If Kawhi Leonard, 2 years,
Kawhi Leonard, when he did his load management, Kawhi Leonard was never an injury-prone player at all. Like there was that injury that he had last season that lingered throughout the year. That was what it was. With Joel, he's been injured his entire NBA career.
And this was one of his best seasons. The only reason why that playoff series they was bad because he got freaking sick. That's so I can say injuries and durability, but that's sick.
So then,
you can get sick from anybody.
So then we're just saying he's like bad luck. Like
sometimes you have bad luck, but I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
I think big men usually end up being more consistent the older they get. Look at Marc Gasol. Got older, he's a little bit more consistent. Actually, a better all-around big now.
Well,
he was a defensive player of the year later in his career anyways. So Embiid's young. I think he's good. He's already shown things that big men couldn't even do that early in the league. He's dominant. Ben Simmons is dominant. If we're talking about their duels and how they can strive, that team is now built around them for defense and spacing. They got Josh Richardson and Tobias.
Like I said, they could have been a lot lower on my list, but there's a lot of factors that I'm counting in from last season. If they were a lot lower,
they wouldn't be on your list.
Sorry, higher.
Okay, they could be a lot higher, but listen, they could be higher. I understand why you say 10 because Ben Simmons can't hit a three, right? And Joel Embiid, like you say, he can't stay healthy, and you don't know what you're gonna get from night to night. But they're both dominant.
You're right. They are. I've said it. I go on record. I've said that Ben Simmons is probably going to be better. Better player than Magic Johnson when it's all said and done. That's what I'm saying. But going into next season, I just don't think they're ready yet. That's my
Fair enough.
We've seen players they go through their downfalls, right? You can see right now Giannis has gone through his downfall for the last 3 years in the playoffs, first round, second round, and now third round. I'm hoping that next year he's going to take that step where it's not going to be a downfall anymore. He's going to get to the finals, right?
No, that is true.
With Joel, it just happened. Like, this was their second year in the playoffs. Last year they beat Miami. Sorry, this year they lost by one shot to the Raptors, who became the champs. So like, I'm not like there's a lot of factors. For me, it's just those two players. I don't know how well they work together. That's all.
Okay, yeah.
Let's
go to 9 because
let's do number 9. So at number 9,
don't shake your head at me, boy. Don't do that, boy.
At number 9, I got Mike Conley and Devon Mitchell. Wow, you got
crack.
Kemba and Tatum.
Kemba and Tatum, rightfully so. I think Kemba and Tatum are about to be a nice little duo because their games complement each other. I understand that Kyrie was there before and Kemba and Kyrie are kind of the same point guards, but there's a difference. Kemba's an actual good teammate. And again, I'm not saying Kyrie wasn't, but Kyrie doesn't take things. He doesn't have a personal issue on the court. Mm-hmm. That was an issue. Marcus Smart said it. They could not get it together on the court.
No,
Kemba is a different kind of guy because Kemba doesn't care how shots. He wants to win. Right? He's
played in a system where he's lost.
Yeah. He doesn't care about the team.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the team. He just wants to play ball. He wants to compete. Jason Tatum's about to be a problem because he's Jordan signed now. He's going to want to get some dollars down the road. He knows he gets a ring early in life. That means more money in life. So I could see them being a nice little problem. I don't know. I'm going to let you speak on your 9, but go ahead.
Okay, so the reason I didn't, first of all, my list, there's a lot of players that I think are going to have a year going, like the next 2 years, especially next year, where they'll take that next step. I think Donovan Mitchell is that player for me. The reason I didn't take Tatum is because I saw that with Kyrie there, Tatum kind of had a sophomore slump. He wasn't getting enough touches. The defense kind of fell off a little. Like if you look at his defensive rating, it fell off a little bit. He just wasn't the same player he was in his first year. Obvious reasons. Kyrie was there. Horford was there. Gordon Hayward was there. There was so much players like you couldn't get him the ball. You know what I mean? Donovan Mitchell, on the other hand, same draft class, he was by himself, and he took that Utah team to the 5th seed in the West again. I'm not gonna say is Donovan Mitchell a superstar. It's been said Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. Is he gonna take that 3rd-year leap to become an elite player? That's what I'm looking for. That 3rd, 4th-year leap where he becomes dominant and playing with a point guard like Mike Conley, who's still in his prime. People, please don't forget, Mike Conley is still a good player. He can still facilitate. He can still score. He's still a good defender. You put that with Donovan Mitchell, an up-and-comer, that's a problem. I want to see how well Utah does this year because this backcourt is deadly. The reason they're so high or low, whatever you want to see it, is because you'll see, I think there's other backcourts in the league that are better than them. I just don't see, I'm not going to say I don't see Tatum taking that next step. I couldn't find room on my list for Tatum and Kemba. They're probably 11th or 12th on mine, to be honest.
Listen, I'm taking Kemba over Conley any day.
That's fair. That's
a battle that's done. Tatum and Donovan Mitchell. Tatum's a better scorer. Mitchell's a better scorer, but Tatum's the better all-around player. Mm-hmm. Did you just hear what I said? Kemba's a better scorer than Conley. Okay. So that's who gets your buckets. Tatum's your better two-way player. I'm going to take those two over Conley.
Mike Conley's a better facilitator than Kemba.
Okay, great.
And what did we just say about Mitchell, who's a better scorer? Mitchell.
Okay, great.
So then why is that not working?
Mitchell's a better scorer than Kemba?
No, than Tatum. That's what you just said.
That's it. That's it. He can't beat out Kemba. Kemba beats out both those guys you got on your list for scoring. No?
Because Kemba's been in the league a little longer, but I don't think I don't think it's that far, man. I don't think Mitchell's that far away from Kemba.
Conley's been in the league longer than Kemba.
I'm talking about Mitchell.
Okay, but that's the thing. Kemba's been putting in work since he got in the league.
So has Mike Conley.
Okay, great for Mike Conley.
I'm sorry, no, actually not even until Kyle Lowry left. That's when Mike Conley really became Mike Conley.
You was Mike Conley when Kyle Lowry was there. Kyle Lowry was never going to be their starting point guard.
He was not, but they started the battle for a minute.
They had the battle because it's just how teams do when they're young. And let's be real. His first season, he was starting. I remember watching it. His first season, he was getting bare minutes for Memphis. So I want to hear what Conley got. But I will tell you this right now. I'm going to take Kemba Tatum over those two because the fact that, hey, they just hungry. I'm sorry, Donovan Mitchell, he's hungry, but Conley, he's like, I'm hungry, I want to win, but yo, I haven't seen.
I think that Mike Conley's in a later stage in his career than Kemba is. They both played for teams that were okay, and for Mike Conley, played for good teams, but were never able to get over that hump in the West. I think that now you have a much better scorer beside you, where you don't have to be that scorer.
I think people are forgetting. Is everyone forgetting what Jason Tatum was doing to LeBron in 2018? Did everyone forget? Did everyone? Okay, so we didn't forget. Okay, great, because he went right at the GOAT. No. He went right at the GOAT. He went right at the GOAT.
Didn't Mitchell take out
Mitchell took out who?
Westbrook and Paul George in the playoffs.
Oh,
last year?
You took out the same guys that got waved bye-bye from Damian Lillard on a step back.
A year later. Don't remember that.
So, okay.
So don't say that.
That's what was shocking.
Don't show me about playoffs like that. We're going to compare players like that. You're going to bring in playoffs, big situations. Don't tell me Donovan Mitchell's not been there already. Don't tell me that Mitchell
can't. He's been there twice, and he's got body 2 years ago.
What are you talking about? He took that shitty-ass team to 2 second rounds. Why the hell did they even make the first round?
Jason Tatum took his team to the conference finals his first year. What's up?
Who do you have?
Jason Tatum.
What's his name? Al Horford. Rudy Gobert or Al Horford?
Yeah.
Offensively?
Rudy Gobert.
Offensively?
Who won Defensive Player of the Year?
Offensively?
Who won Defensive Player of the Year? Who won Defensive Player of the Year? Who won Defensive Player of the Year? Who won Defensive Player of the Year?
And you know Rudy Gobert, 2 years ago, was he that good? No, he was not. 2 years?
Can I ask you a question? As a coach, what wins the championships, baby?
2 years.
What wins you championships, baby?
2 years ago, Rudy Gobert, even a Defensive Player of the Year nomination.
He was getting there.
Al Horford was a top player. Was a top big. 2 years ago, Al Horford was a top big for Boston.
Donovan Mitchell had some veterans on his team.
Bro, I'm talking about next year. There's a reason Mitchell made it on this list. Because Rudy Gobert next year.
Ricky Rubio.
We'll see.
I gotta keep him the ball.
You know what, we're talking to we're this conversation can go on forever.
It can go on forever.
Our producer's getting mad that we're taking so long on just 2 of our lists.
Kiss mad.
So we're just gonna go to number 8 because there's no winning with this guy. So for number 8, I picked another backcourt. Again, Victor Oladipo and Malcolm Brogdon. This guy and you put Giannis and Middleton at 8.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll explain why. Giannis is a dominant player in this league, 100%. He's a top 5 guy, no questions asked. Simple. But Middleton, I'm sorry. I look at this list and I'm like, I don't think that duo does a lot more than most of these other teams. Because chemistry-wise and fit, yes, Middleton can give you buckets, but 17, 18 a game in the playoffs? 17, 18 game in the playoffs? That's what he thought. That's his peak? Because to me, the playoffs is when you see everyone at their best, going against the best. I'm sorry, but that duo, it can't get past my top 5. But at my 8, I could live with it. Because that's still a problem to guard Giannis. And then Chris Middleton has that outside game he can defend. That's why they're a nice top 10 duo, but they're not teaching in my top 5. So I will explain on that. So I get it, because I understand that everyone will probably look at me like, oh, how are you going to say the MVP not in the top 5? Listen, Chris Middleton's a great player. But I look at my list and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if he gives you enough to have your duos that dominant.
I have Giannis and Middleton on my list. So when I get to that, I'll play defense for those two. But I will just talk about Victor Oladipo and Malcolm Brogdon from my point of view. I saw Victor Oladipo take that next step in Indiana last year before his injury and become a top player for his team. Not only a player that could take his team to the playoffs, but have some success in the playoffs. Obviously, the injury happened. We don't know what kind of player he could be. Now you add a player like Malcolm Brogdon, who's a very good defensive player. He's only now finding his offensive rhythm, I think. He came to the league, he had the jumper already. It was creating his own shot that he's probably going to have to do in Indiana. And taking it to the basket because he's a guard, it's pretty easy for him, actually. I think those two together, Indiana's going to take that next step. And I think, I hate to put a third person in there, but Miles Turner looks like he wants to take that next step to being a top big in our league. He already showed it last season when he was a top defensive. He was top 4 in defensive rating for a big. So right there, and then his shot blocking abilities, his rotations are unbelievable once he gets under the basket. So I'm I don't want to talk so much about that, but I want to talk about Oladipo and Malcolm Brogdon. I think together they'll create that backcourt that will actually be over, for me at least, Trump, Mike Conley, and Mitchell. That's why they're just one spot under those two players.
Now, listen, I can see where you're coming from because that Brogdon, he complements Oladipo's game because he's not a ball dominant point guard. So it works. But here's my problem. Like you said, with Tatum, and you're getting on, and with Zoe and Zion, haven't proved shit. You tell me out of the guys I said and you have said, where Brogdon has actually showed you he's better than all those guys that help bring Oladipo over there. Because I'm looking at Simmons and Embiid on that list, and that's why I said crack, yo. I said these boys smoking crack. That's got to switch right here.
Okay.
That's got to switch. I like the duo.
I don't know if you remember that one game that Malcolm Brogdon like shit up and like I don't know what happened to him, but the man decided to dunk on Kyrie, and then like a couple possessions later dunk on LeBron.
If we're doing duos based on one game, then I can give you a whole goddamn list.
No. You asked me where have I seen potential in Malcolm Brogdon. So that's what I'm telling you. In that one game, I saw that he has no fear to be a nice player. In the last 2 years, I've also seen that has no fear to take that next step into being a dominant player. That's why when Milwaukee lost Malcolm Brogdon, I thought it was the stupidest thing because in the next 2 years, Malcolm Brogdon's going to be a better player than Chris Middleton in the next 2 years.
So, if I was to say a duo from last year that could beat this duo based on what you just said, you're saying based on that one game was
no, chill, bro.
I can put Jeremy in and
I'm not talking about one episode. I'm not talking about one. This guy's talking about one shot, bro. I'm talking about something that happened in a game, and I'm talking about what I've seen in the last 2 years in his growth as a player. After being rookie of the year.
Listen,
he's upped his game. He's not great. Not great because he's playing with Giannis. He's playing with Chris Middleton, players that they need the ball.
2K could move up like 2 overall, like 2 points overall.
Okay, so next season he's gonna be second option scoring. Before Victor Oladipo, he's probably gonna be first. Let's see what he does. Right? This is a list for the future. I don't know.
For 2 years.
A 2 year list. A 2 year list.
So, yes, technically 1 year into the future. I feel you there. But I'm sorry. The next 2 years, I don't see those 2 guys beating out any of the 6 guys we named. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. That's don't. Victor Oladipo is a great talent. He's getting buckets. All right? But I'm sorry, Brogdon hasn't shown me that he can do enough when he's off the ball to impact the game where he's a top 10 duo in the NBA. Porzingis and Doncic is better than that duo.
You're totally right, but Victor Oladipo by himself is great. That's why he's on this list. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put him on the list at all. If I didn't think that Victor Oladipo was able to take that next step into being a superstar, he's an all-star, right? He's a bona fide all-star. We all know that. He hasn't shown that he can be a superstar, and that's why I said, like you said, like this year, there's a lot of factors that are playing in with this list, and that's the future, right? If Malcolm Brogdon shows even a little bit of offensive game beside Victor Oladipo, that's all Victor really needs. He just needs that little bit of help. It's not like Westbrook and Victor Oladipo in OKC. That's a different situation. You have 2 players that are young. They're willing to move the ball within each other but score when needed.
I understand completely that. I just don't see them as a top 10 duo in the league. It's simple as that. For me, my opinion.
I don't see Zoe and Zion top 10, but like you said, this is a list for the future.
Right, but at least they're 10. You gotta give them 8. Bro, those 2 could be 10 on your list. I'm telling you, make that trade. Call Team 10 and say, hey, I got a trade offer with a couple first rounders.
If Joel stays healthy this year, going into next year, I will promise you that Joel will be on a way higher list of mine if Joel stays healthy. But if Joel is struggling with injuries all year long and then in the playoffs, they get there. I don't even know when they faced Miami in their first year. Was he healthy? Was he fully?
No, but if we're gonna talk injuries, then I'm gonna hit you with that bar with Oladipo because I thought last time I checked he tore his ACL. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he's been out already like a year now. I mean, like 7 months.
Yeah, but it's
Eight
ACL
months.
injury. You don't come back getting like buckets like that.
Okay, it takes a while. I'm not
Takes
gonna,
a little bit
I'm
of
not
while.
gonna- we
So-
can say we're gonna say the same thing about Clay. When Clay comes back, he's gonna take Clay a little bit of time.
Yeah,
And when this Clay
but
comes
we
back
are
right
doing
before,
this duos based
right
on
before
them.
playoffs.
Hold on, we're doing this duos based on them all healthy, ready to go
Exactly.
for this year,
exactly.
next year.
So then we can't talk about injuries.
Yeah, with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, you can't talk injuries.
Bro, I'm talking about the future.
The future.
I'm just saying that Joel is such a injury prone player. Bro, we can't even do this right now.
I know.
Okay, side number
Go to
7.
number 7, which
We actually were able to agree on one thing, which is shocking.
This is a real
I don't
deal.
really need to talk about
No.
these two.
I think we
players.
can just praise them very quickly. and move
They're
on
very
to-
good. The Hassan Whiteside's gonna add a nice mix to them. I want to see what happens to Nurkic.
I like that they both signed a long-term contract
Yeah,
in
for
Portland.
sure,
I think
for
that was
sure.
big for them. I think Portland, but I will say this: there's a team that has done this before about committing to its players and then automatically just change things around. And it's the same team that just won a championship this year, right? The Raptors did the same thing, saying Ibaka, Kyle Lowry, DeRozan, we trust you. We want to build around you. And then as soon as they got bodied again when we're here, it was like, oh, wait, we messed up. Why did we do this?
Yeah, no, I think
So,
I think it works out for Portland a lot better too, because now you don't just let these guys walk, right?
yeah, but
If
also,
if you let them walk, then
yeah, but it gives you leverage in trading because now they got years on their contract.
Absolutely, no.
So I
it was a
think
great thing for Portland to get them both.
I think that the meeting they had with Portland was, we'll stay here, but if things don't work out like how it was in OKC, you can get rid of us if you need to rebuild. Because I don't think Portland's re-signing those guys saying, we believe in you guys to help.
I also think them trading for Hassan Whiteside made them a little bit better, just because
Well, they had to.
they
try to
had
be a winning
no
team
real
this year.
big, right?
They had no defensive big. That was the problem that this team had. They had no guy that could be a shot blocker for
Like
them.
even Nurkic, like I don't know if his game is.
He-
I think
he-
he's a better offensive player than Hassan.
No.
But I don't
he's
defensively
more-
Hassan
more
Whiteside is just ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, like he's just athletic.
Like, I don't know how
I
he's-
think pick and roll that's a
Oh,
problem.
that's not.
I think that's why they did it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if Nurkic does come back this year somehow,
Somehow we'll see.
I will say this: they'll have a 1-2 punch at the big that will throw teams off and like because the new NBA is different now. We're not
Yeah.
going back to like it's some small ball.
No,
but
it worked for the Raptors. They put Gasol and Ibaka. I think that's what a lot of teams saw. They're like,
They realized the cheat code.
we're gonna have two bigs out there technically, but we can only have one to start, and then we'll see what
See, that's the best duo in the league, yo.
Serge
Ibaka
Ibaka and Marc Gasol.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Okay, let's go to number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 6, you put Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons.
Rightfully so.
And I got Harden and the Brody,
Okay.
Russell Westbrook. Do you want to... You play defense for Simmons and Embiid, so you don't even need to talk about them. I'll talk about Harden, why they're like not in my top 5. I don't know about... whatever. They're both the ball-dominant players, that's it. Like, that's really all I have to say.
I know, that is fair.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like we saw how badly James Harden hurt his team in the playoffs when he decided he just wanted ISO. I'm assuming this is not gonna be the situation or the case when Russell Westbrook plays in Houston. It's gonna be a lot of transition buckets. It's gonna be a lot of kickouts for open threes. It's gonna be a lot of Mike D'Antoni's system playing basketball. But the reason they're not in my top 5 is because they're both ball dominant and they haven't really taken that next step. Third round is the furthest Harden got since
the finals.
Since that finals in 2012, and Westbrook got to the
conference finals
as well. Okay, that's true.
Yeah, with KD. And listen, I get it on their own that they haven't really shown much, but that's the great thing about basketball. When you can meet up with somebody that you have chemistry with and you've been to a finals with and you're cool with.
I totally could see that. But
they have chemistry. I understand they're ball dominant. But this is what Houston would need to do to have them successful.
You have them on your list, right? Why don't you just... Because you already played defense for Simmons and...
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to number 5. So number 5 is... So, okay, you can talk about that.
So, and listen, they're top 5 because when you got a guy like Westbrook can get your players buckets. This is a team that was built for a guy like Westbrook, to have guys that can catch and shoot, right? And a guy that can go pick and roll. He didn't have that in OKC because he had guys that were wing defenders was a pick and roll. right?
But Steven Adams is a good pick and roll player.
Yes, and that's what helped him still be successful. But Clint Capella is a very good pick and roll guy as well.
Well, except for last year.
Well, that's because Harden didn't want to give up the ball. He just wanted to shoot threes. Now you got a guy like Westbrook that he actually respects to have the ball in his hands. A guy that he's like, yo, this guy's an MVP. This guy's my Brody. This guy is a guy that I know that's going to help me get to the next level.
I totally agree with what you're saying, but I will say that if it was anybody else, any other player in the league, I don't know if Westbrook would just give it up like that.
No.
I understand he's in a new team
and that's why it works. And that's why they're a top 5, in my opinion, because they're close. Like, you just said it. Like, you don't see Westbrook work with anyone else.
Okay, so chemistry is like... Okay,
it's on point. Because I watched some clips with them in OKC. They're throwing alleys to each other like there's no tomorrow.
Well, no, they've been on runs like this summer too. Yeah, I saw some videos of them.
They've been playing together.
They were toying with players. Now, obviously, like those are like rec mans or like or rappers that are like
rappers that want to
G League players. You know, like so obviously they're having their way.
Gucci's get off the court. Stop hooping.
But let me talk about my number 5. So the reason I have Giannis and Middleton in my top 5 is because of this. So I've said this before. I think Giannis next year is going to make this 2020 finals, because he will take his game to that next step. I'm hoping, like really, really hoping that next season he comes, like this season comes into the league, he starts firing shots off. He scores at an unbelievable rate where he can't be stopped.
Don't worry, you keep going.
Can you stop pointing at the screen? You're stuck. Okay.
Continue.
The reason I don't think that they're not under or they're not even top 4 or top 3 is because Chris Middleton is dragging Giannis back. That's what I think. I think Giannis is so dominant as a player that he could be by himself in top 5, but then once you add Chris Middleton, then he kind of gets pulled back because of Chris Middleton's, like you said, inability in the playoffs. Now, I will defend Chris Middleton. I had to guard like Kawhi and players like that.
Oh, so you had to guard elite guys and got bodied.
So, and he wasn't able to put up the scoring. But we'll see, maybe next year they won't do that.
Top 5 guys don't get bodied.
He's not a top 5 guy, though.
But top 5 duos don't get bodied. Top 5 duos have 2 guys that can go at it for you. I'm sorry, Middleton can't do that. Middleton can't pick up the slack for Giannis. But you have a good point that Giannis is so good enough that you can sneak into the top 5. That is true. But I just don't believe Middleton can help sustain that. I don't think he can help, Giannis.
I mean, it's very possible. Like I think that Chris Middleton's in the prime of his career. So like for peak, maybe he has we'll say 3 more years.
No.
Just to give it to him. But like you see what kind of player he is. He's a 3-and-D. He can get off his shot when he needs to. He's an all-star player. Like there's no doubt about it. But I think that because he's not as good as players like CJ and Dame and Harden and Westbrook, players that I had above, that's why he's their top 5. Otherwise, I think they could be top 3 easily.
Yeah, no.
If they make a trade for Westbrook to go to Milwaukee, first of all, I'll say
game over.
I don't know if it'll work, but like that list would for sure Giannis would be a top 3. Giannis and
Kareem and Oscar Robinson on. They're talking about that's Kareem and Oscar Robinson back from the dead. What do you mean? I'm telling y'all, I see it. Milwaukee, do it. Call Houston.
They're not.
Call Houston, because he's coming to Toronto if you don't do it. Call Houston, give us Westbrook. Do it, just do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Okay, let's go to number 4
now.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun here.
This is where I thought we were gonna have our fights, but
we're gonna fight.
So at number 4, I got Steph and Klay Thompson, Mr. Eyeball, and he got.
Rightfully so.
Kawhi, MVP, Finals MVP.
So let me ease y'all down, because I know a lot of people looking at me like, you're supposed to be Battle of LA, 1-2, 1-2. I don't want to hear it. PG and Kawhi, they're great. They can defend. They can score. But ask yourself this: can they make your team truly better? Seriously, ask yourself this. Can they make your team better? Maybe 2-on-2, you can probably take them maybe against a couple of these other guys on the bottom of the list. But I wouldn't say against the guys at my top 3. I wouldn't. Because Kawhi, as much as he can get buckets, yo, you can slow him down when you need to. Because he'll eventually get hurt in his hip. And PG, well, PG's a choker. AKA, bye, PG. Bye. You got put in your place by CJ and Dame. You got put in your place by CJ and Dame with Westbrook as your guy. You have not proven yourself to be that level yet. They get in my top 4 because of Kawhi. I'll just say it like that. They're in my top 4 because of Kawhi. PG, you haven't shown me jack all to say you're a good running mate.
I'm so mad right now. Like, you don't even understand.
Drop
the
it.
man just like spat out a bunch of lies. Like
What?
PG.
What has PG done?
PG's
What has
not
he
a
done?
man.
Has he been to the finals?
The
Has he
man,
been to the
took
finals?
that team.
Has he been
that
to the
man
finals?
took that
Has he
team
been
to
to the finals?
back-to-back conference finals. The only reason he didn't go to the finals is because he had to deal with LeBron.
Who? I'm not going to say it yet, but what you just said because of LeBron James.
Okay, so what? You're telling me LeBron's not a top player all of a sudden? Like, what is this conversation? We all know LeBron's a top player. There's a reason the man went to 8 finals. Wake the fuck up, Kareem. Why are you telling me that Paul George, who took that team, who was very good defensively, but offensively they were shit. Absolutely shit. He took that team to the East Final, bro. That's some bullshit.
He took the East Finals? He took or with Danny Granger. He took
Danny Granger was shit by then.
Whoa!
When Paul George
Whoa!
Danny, okay,
he wasn't shit. He wasn't shit.
He was having his injuries.
He was still dropping buckets. He was still dropping buckets.
2013, did he play in the playoffs? 2013, did he play in the playoffs? 2012, he played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
2013, did he play in the playoffs? No, he did not.
2011, 2012.
Yeah, 2013, did he play?
2011, 2012. Okay.
Okay, 2012, 13.
Okay.
That year that they went to the East Finals, did he play in the playoffs? No, he did not. Following year, no, he did not. Stop this. You're being rude.
They didn't go to the conference
You're
finals
being
in 2014.
rude to
They didn't
Paul
go to the
George.
conference finals in 2014. The Pacers? Did they?
Who did they go to the finals with? Who did Miami take down once again to go to the finals? Yes. That was a 6-game series.
Check that fact.
That was a 6.
Check
Bro,
that fact.
you don't want to check it. I'll check it right now. It's right
Check
here.
that fact.
I just checked it.
Check that fact. Johnny, you check it.
You're disrespectful to Paul George.
Yes, I am.
Paul George played with a ball hog player like Russell
How many
Westbrook,
game-winning shots
and he still had to get, and he still was a top 3 MVP candidate this year.
Great.
He played with a the ball hog. Oh wow, like
Regular season play.
Wow.
Playoffs, show me some. Playoffs, show me some. Oh, he's such a great player. He took his team to the conference finals. Why is it that when he was with Westbrook, he got bodied by the same guy, Donovan Mitchell, you said, that is up and coming. And then the next year got bodied by CJ and Dame, and they had a chance to win it that year when he was an MVP candidate. Don't tell me that this guy deserves to help him.
Okay, so you're such a big OKC fan, right? I just want to ask you something. Do you actually watch OKC games?
This season?
Like, no, in the playoffs. In the playoffs,
yeah,
this season, I'm just curious to know. So, okay, so there's times on the floor, and this is why I don't like Russell Westbrook. There's times on the floor where Russell Westbrook gets the ball, and he thinks, what? I gotta jack up a shot. I gotta make something happen for my team. I'ma do this. You're down by 20 points. What are you still jacking up shots for? I am sorry. I am not gonna give Paul George the disrespect that you're giving him.
I'm giving it this
because he played with a ball-dominant player like Westbrook.
And who guess who he's playing with? That ball-dominant player of Kawhi. So you tell me when he's going to eat.
So he's going to be the sidekick, Kareem.
Be the sidekick and do what?
Bro,
choke as well again?
He was a top player by himself. He almost took that team. He almost beat a big 3, but almost by himself. That first year in Indiana. Okay, the reason I'm having such an issue with this is because you'll see who my number 1 is, and like the disrespect that this guy has right now.
But
and you'll see who my number 3 is, and then you
So that's what I'm trying to say.
And then you'll get mad about it. So then that's what it is. Okay. So my number 4 is Stephen Clay. In the next 2 years, they're still going to be dominant. You don't know what's going to happen with D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, Clay's going to come back. He's going to take them a bit. We don't know. They're at first he said January, then they said playoffs. So we'll see when he comes back. If he comes back right before playoffs, he's useless. If he comes back in January, maybe he can adjust at least a little bit so that they can get some minutes from him in the playoffs. So that was my number.
This guy has Stephen Clay under
4. Okay, so then his number 3 is Stephen Clay, and mine is LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Okay. So,
I'll let you talk about Stephen Clay first.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that because Stephen Clay is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, shooting backcourt we've ever seen on the face of Earth. Klay Thompson's the type of guy to drop 60 points on your head top out of nowhere. You got Steph that can drop 40 points on your head out of nowhere. Guys that are unguardable when they're both healthy on the court. You cannot defend no matter who you have. Okay? No matter who. Not even Kawhi and PG are going to stop those two. Because once you get them moving off the ball, splash, 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 splash. After shot, after shot. They have won championships together. They're the main reason why they got 3 rings. I understand that KD came to the Warriors and gave them 2 because he helped get that battle against LeBron. But he doesn't get those rings without those 2. And please, people, remember this. I'm a Steph Curry hater. And look where I have him. Look where I have him over the man that brought a ring to my city. Why? Because the man has proven that, yo, I could ball out. And when he balls out with his homie, Clay, they're a duo that's a problem. Now, you have number 3. I'm going to let you talk on that. But he's got one of the greatest players in history. Number 3 was one of the biggest big men to ever play on this game. And I don't mean by height. I mean by his impact. The man has stats that is... Oh, go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead and explain yourself. You want to talk about me and number 4, you go ahead and explain yourself. I'm waiting.
Okay, so I wasn't done talking about Stephen Clay, first of all. The reason they're number 4 is because of Clay. Like, ACL tears, like, we don't know how serious this ACL tear was. Apparently the swelling on his knee was so bad that for 2 weeks they could not have surgery. Right? So that was a little bit of a stunt. We'll see how bad it affected him. Not saying that he won't be the same player, or not even saying that he'll come back stronger, because we've seen players in professional sports, they have an ACL tear and they actually come back stronger. So we'll see that, but it's this whole year that he's probably going to miss. So that's why they're number 4. I think that if Clay is healthy, they're probably a top 3 team, but I'm also letting you know this, team. If you look at both of our lists, after our top 4s, each player on that list is a superstar. Okay, so we can't say this and that. Obviously, I'll give you my reasoning for why I put Clay, but you can't tell me that. Okay, no, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that because then I'm being hypocritical. So at 3, I took LeBron, Junior James. And Anthony Davis. I'll tell you, this is my reasoning. So, we were coming up with the list. We were talking about it and whatnot right before the show. And Kadeem mentioned like something very important that I forgot completely. Who's a really good scorer? You know, it's not LeBron James, right? It's Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis is gonna get more buckets this season than LeBron James. Let's be honest. Secondly, LeBron James is 35. Going into this year. A 36 and a 37-year-old LeBron James, do I really trust to still put up dominant, crazy numbers? It's a possibility. He's a top player that ever played this game. It's definitely a possibility. But what for me, is just, it's going to be 17 years now. 17 seasons of him in the NBA trying to win his 4th ring. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to get to his body. As much as he takes care of his body, I don't understand why people disregard injuries. Like that's for me, like that's what I mean. Like I understand we made this list without, but LeBron James has never been injured other than last season, and you saw what that did to him. It actually made him a better player. Like he came back and he was a great player. You know what I mean? But then my thing was there was no one else. They had a shitty ass Brandon Ingram, a developing Kyle Kuzma. Lonzo got injured. And he put up crazy numbers. Now he's gonna play with a player in Anthony Davis. But we've seen when LeBron gets a dynamic duo, kind of sits back and waits. You know, he kind of waits for the player to do his thing because they're so great. Like Kyrie Irving was so good. You know, Kyrie Irving was so good that at some points, LeBron would stand on the other side of the court and let Kyrie go ISO. And it's fair. Kyrie was a great ISO player, but you know who's a great post player? Anthony Davis. So why does that not tell me that LeBron's not going to do the same thing this year? Why is he not going to go in the corner? You know, maybe I'll go and open for a jumper if he misses his post or if he wants to kick out. I don't see that. I'm just letting you know, like, LeBron James is not a 33-year-old player in his prime that took the 2018 shitty-ass Cleveland Cavaliers to the finals. He's a 35-year-old player who's much smarter than he was 2 years ago, I'll tell you that. His body, whatever it is, he's much smarter, but I don't see it, man.
Okay. All right, so I won't talk much on it because I'm going to talk on it a little later on those two. So I'll let you be there for now. But just know something, what you said. Man, last year in 2018 took a shitty Cleveland squad. A year ago. It's 2019. A year ago.
The 2020 season.
It's going to be in a couple of months. So a year ago.
When
a year. We're not going by basketball. We're not going by basketball time. We're going by lifetime. A year removed. He took a shitty team to the finals and was playing, if not, everyone would say, the best basketball he's ever played. Let's go to number two. Because when I get to number one, I am not having this. So, number two, please. Number two.
Actually, our number twos are the same.
Where we agree on. And I just want to start off by saying reason why I definitely put them there. And it makes sense. And I think it justifies why duos are important. Batman and Robin is one of the greatest duos that we know out here in the comical world. Why? Because Batman is the guy. He puts it all on his shoulders, but Robin is the guy that does not care to be in the spotlight as long as he's cool with Batman. Now, but low-key, he still wants the moment.
I mean, everyone wants the moment.
And that's Kyrie and KD. They're boys. They're teammates now. Thank God, right? The world gets to see a whole new duo. And KD is going to work perfect because he's going to be that Batman, and then Kyrie could be that Robin for him, which Kyrie is very good at. And we all know that. And I will get on that in a bit.
No, I mean, I'm not, like, we don't really need to talk about it. We have the same number two. It's pretty obvious why we put number Kevin Durant. Like, he's still the best scorer in the league, and that was my issue, is why I put LeBron and AD under or over whatever over KD and Kyrie's, because they're both ISO players. Like, they can score at will. No. Yeah, that's LeBron, right? Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's AD actually. Let's just go to number one, man.
It's KD, baby.
Because clearly, like, we're about to...
Yeah, we about to... You want to take the floor first?
No,
like me too?
No, you waited, so you can have it.
All right. Everyone ready for this one? Okay, so... Just to get back on his points earlier, what he said. All right, so... You see this name right here? Who's the top two players ever in basketball? LeBron and Michael Jordan. Who's in the top 5 of scoring of all time? LeBron James. Man said man can't score no more. He's in the top 5 for a reason, and he's not even been considered a scorer in his career.
Not a scorer.
He's not a scorer yet. He's in top bloody 5 of all time as scorer.
He just likes to put the basket.
He's with Anthony Davis, who's putting up numbers with bigs and greats like Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Akeem. So you guys tell me, with a duo like that, who would beat that? Because if LeBron has the ball in his hands and AD, come here, let's get in some action together, pick and roll, I don't think anyone stops that, because AD's either going to pick and pop or he's going to pick and dunk. And if you don't hedge on LeBron, he's going to dunk. You can't defend that. LeBron James has proven himself. A year removed, I remind you again, took a shitty team without Kyrie Irving to the finals. A year removed, and we're talking like this guy's not the top man no more. He works perfect with AD. Oh, he has to stand there and watch Kyrie do his thing. Pretty sure you watched Kyrie drop 41 points with them in the finals. Made a 3-1 comeback with Kyrie, right? He proved that, okay, give me a guy, the duo combo, we gonna eat. 41 and 41. That's 82 points in a goddamn NBA Finals game. They dropped together. I think him and AD can do that. It works perfect because LeBron's older now. You see he's shooting threes. He wants to be outside more. He wants to get a post up. Throw the ball to AD. Go do your work. You want to throw it back out to me? Splash from the left side 3-point slot. Because that's LeBron's spot. I understand he got Kawhi and PG there. I get it. Kawhi showed he's the baddest man on the planet. Dead ass. But everyone's going to hold this against him. KD was not playing. KD plays, we're probably talking about a different result. right? If we're gonna talk injuries, a different result. And not to take away from Kawhi, because Kawhi earned his right to be in that finals, right? But he's got a guy like PG now. Okay, yeah, he's an MVP candidate. And you're talking about, oh, he made Westbrook. I don't like the way Westbrook played. Well, guess what? Westbrook won MVP. Guess what? PG was the leading scorer. Guess what? He actually wanted PG to get buckets. And guess what? I watched in that series against Portland. He was trying to get buckets, but his shoulders weren't there. They haven't been there. They've been choking every year he gets into the playoffs, apparently. Every time he gets close to the playoffs, he's injured. So you tell me why AD and LeBron can't take Paul George and Kawhi. Because you got two of the top 5 guys in the league together on the same team. 2 guys that can drop 40-plus points on you if they want to. If they want to.
Where do you rank Paul George as a top player?
In his league?
Yeah.
Not even in my top 5.
Okay, top 10?
Yeah.
Top 7?
No.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Interesting.
So a player last year that was MVP candidate.
Yep.
Is now your top.
Yep. Because he only got it because he was just getting buckets. He was.
No,
he was.
It's not like he was playing really good defense.
He was playing great defense.
Or he was locking guys up.
Yeah, but you know what? We're doing this list based on these guys at their best and at their healthiest. And that means they're going against guys at their best and healthiest. So that means when Paul George goes against a guy like Damian Lillard and CJ, when they're playing at their best in the playoffs, he doesn't get bodied and told bye-bye. And the year before doesn't get bodied by a guy that's pretty much, what, a rookie? Or a sophomore he was, Donovan Mitchell. He was a rook and he bodied him and took them out the playoffs. Oh, you're such a great leader. Oh, Westbrook does this and that. Well, if he does, I'm sorry, did KD get to the finals with Westbrook? Did KD get to the conference finals and had the 73 Warriors to a 3-1 almost defeat? Get out of here.
Almost.
I don't want almost. And I don't he couldn't close it.
Okay.
He couldn't close it. Same thing Paul George. Couldn't close it. Y'all can blame Westbrook all you want. But the man's got an MVP trophy. He's a triple-double machine.
Stat
pattern,
yeah.
Stat pattern, man said 2020 for his boy.
Okay,
and when I was and NBA players.
How many games? Like, that's why I asked you. I said, do you watch OKC games?
Yeah, I watch, and I see he takes a lot of shots.
All he does, he looks out for kicks. Every time he'll attack the basket, he'll look for a kick out. If that shot doesn't come out, he'll come back to the top of the key, drive to the net, see if he has an open layup. If not, another kick out.
Is that not basketball? Is that not basketball to move the ball and kick out when you drive?
Okay. He's athletically, he's probably the top point guard to ever play this game. You tell me he can't take guys one-on-one at the rim? Yes, he can, because we've seen it. So why did he stop when Paul George was there?
What, taking guys
Why did he... Bro, the amount of posters the man had in that 1 year when he was by himself. Do you remember that poster he had on Clint Capella that won them the game? You don't remember that? Bro, this year he's had a couple dunks, but not like this. But my number 1 is Kawhi and PG. Obviously, he disagrees, and I really don't give a flying fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what Kawhi did in the playoffs this year, now, I understand there's a lot on the table for Kawhi to prove. There's a lot on his legacy that he needed to prove, so he got it done. Now, this year, next season, he's not worried about money. He's not worried about family having to move across the country or to another country. He's not worried about my coaches or any of that. He's not worried about he's worried about injuries, but he's not worried about injured. He's not worried about that he was injured last year. You know, I think that's a lot of factors that are gonna tell me this. But in the NBA, what I've noticed, especially over the last 30 or 40 years, there's been greats that have their 10 years, their 8 years of superstardom, but here and there, you have a couple players that throw themselves in that game for at least that year to say, hey, I'm the best player in the league, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'll go back to 2017 when LeBron was a dominant-ass player, but so was Kevin Durant. And when he got bodied in the finals with Kyrie Irving, there was a lot of haters on LeBron. And you and I know that. You can't tell me that there was a lot of people that said Kevin Durant's a better player than LeBron James. You and I sat there and I said, all right, there's no way. Kevin Durant's a great scorer, but he's not a better all-around player. So that's what I'm trying to tell you with Kawhi. It is Kawhi's time to take the league, to take that dominance. Because with Kevin Durant out, and I don't understand why everyone's forgetting this. 5 seasons ago, they met in the finals, and if my memory serves me right, the one player that LeBron can't play against is the guy sitting in the other not even the other arena, in the same arena, in the other locker room.
Okay.
Right? He's playing in the same city as you. He decided to put his legacy, because I'm sorry, like, if Kawhi goes to Los Angeles, if he doesn't win anything, like, there's not a lot of people that are going to talk about Kawhi's legacy. It's going to be Paul George's legacy. And I told you this last episode. Paul George is going to step up. He needs to step up. If he wants to be considered a top player in this league, he's going to step up. And I don't like, that's why I didn't understand what you were talking about when you said the man never did it. He took a team to a conference finals back to back. I'll give him that, bro. No, he didn't. DeRozan never took no Raptor team to back conference finals.
Oh, back-to-back, you want to talk? That's such a great accomplishment. He made back-to-back conference finals. Wow.
Bro, he played against... Like,
Reggie Miller took the Pacers to the finals by himself. What up?
Allen Iverson took a...
Bonafide superstars, baby.
No, but Paul George, I'm not comparing Paul George to Allen Iverson. I'll never do that. You can't do that.
Can't compare Reggie Miller either.
Because Paul George, you're right, has not shown it. But that's what I'm telling you. Paul George's legacy going into Los Angeles and with the Clippers, if he says... Because apparently he lied. He said, like, the Lakers were the team because of Kobe, right? That was his favorite team growing up. And then when he was in the media, he said, oh, the Clippers, this and that. I'm telling you, there's a lot riding on the man's legacy.
Yeah, the Clippers is 15.
And I still don't understand why we're forgetting that Kawhi is LeBron's kryptonite. I'm gonna throw that out one more time before we're done. It's 2 different players in 2 different eras. Both players are much smarter than they were back then. One player got way better.
Okay, so we're gonna go them going head to head. Kawhi can probably keep.
I'm not talking about going head to head. Still, we're doing a duels list. I never said. I'm just letting you know if on the court when those 4 mans are on, no one's guarding Anthony Davis because I don't know who on their roster. Paul George is probably gonna have to guard Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and he can't.
But then you're kind of losing that facilitatingness, that scoring that you said LeBron's not a scorer, but you're losing that because Kawhi's going to be on. Kawhi's not going to allow this, yo.
Listen, LeBron doesn't need to score to impact the game. He's proven that. He's done proving that.
Yeah, but you know what else he does? He does that really impacts the game. He's a great facilitator. He's one of the best.
And he can still facilitate.
He's one of the best assist players. But if guys like Kawhi and Paul George are in your passing lanes, bro, I don't understand like why we're forgetting these 2 players are the 2 top, like 2-way wing players in our game.
And I can't even forget that LeBron's probably one of the greatest players ever played.
He is, but Anthony Davis is not in his prime yet, so we can't even talk about Anthony Davis' peak. We can't even talk but Paul George and Kawhi are they're at their peaks right now.
You just said it. He's not even in his prime, and look how dominant he is.
So
Paul George is in his prime as better.
But what's the list for next year and the next following year, right? Anthony Davis still has 2 more years before
he hits his prime, and where he can really go off. And he's already shown that he can really go off.
LeBron's not going to be with the Lakers, or LeBron's not going to be playing at that time. Whatever you want, whatever the options are. 2 years from now,
years from now, LeBron's still going to be a dominant player in the league. That's a fact.
Bro, this guy's like...
That's a fact.
Bro, you know what? My favorite player growing up was Kobe Bryant. And for the longest time, I thought the man was invincible. You know what I mean?
He was.
After 2010, I was like, this man's the greatest. Yeah. He has 5 rings. He took down Boston's dynasty, this and that. 2011, injury. 2012, injury. 2013, injury. 2014, the man played 12 games in 4 seasons. For a man, like you said, took that shitty ass team, have so much pressure to do it by himself.
I have answers to that. He said it himself in an interview. I overworked my body. What does LeBron do better than anyone has ever played this game? He invests in his body. There's a reason why when he came back from the groin injury, where he shouldn't have, he came back almost 28, 8 and 8. Do I remind you again? He came back early from the injury.
Gordon Hayward never had an injury in
his career
in Utah. Okay,
yeah.
I don't remember him getting seriously injured. First game in Boston, his leg fucking shatters like a damn pencil.
That's what happens. Guys can get hurt. You're right. LeBron can get hurt. Guess what? Kawhi can get hurt because what has Kawhi been going through? Bare injuries more than LeBron. More than LeBron? No. LeBron ever missed a whole year? No. Has Paul George missed an almost season? How many times with his leg and his shoulders? Yeah, he's done it. Kawhi's missed a season? Yeah. So if we're going to talk injuries and who's going to be durable, I'll go LeBron and AD any day of the week.
Bro, I told you about longevity. We talked about this already. LBJ is the master of longevity.
Okay,
career.
so why are you concerned about how long he's going to be going?
He's going to be 35 and 36 in the next 2 years.
And that's
where you see more players. That's where, look at Chris Paul. What happened the last season? He became 35 years old. And became
Chris Paul and LeBron are different. Hell yeah.
Everybody. I'm just.
Everyone is different.
I'm not trying to compare. I'm giving you an example.
Okay.
I will never compare Chris Paul to LeBron James.
Right.
They're not in the same class.
Give me an example. I'll give you an example. When Michael Jordan came back from retirement, how old was he again?
35.
Great. What did he do?
Wait. Are we talking about his first time or second?
This is after his first time he retired, right?
Well, he was 33. He was not even.
He was 33.
He was in his prime still.
Okay, so he was 33. So okay, maybe not.
And he won his last. And he won his last ring on his 35th birthday year.
Okay,
I'm just letting you know that was his last.
And he was still dominant, right?
You're right. He was.
Okay, and he came back to Washington years after taking a break and not playing competitive basketball, and he was still putting out buckets, right? Yeah. Wasn't the same player, put out buckets. Imagine putting AD or Michael Jordan on the Wizards. You're making the playoffs, right? You're still a threat, right?
Yeah, of course. I never said LeBron not making playoffs. I never even said we are giving LeBron top 3.
My point is this. He's still going to be dominant, and AD being there allows him to still impact the game because now AD can take over the reins. He can now be more of a facilitator and get his guys involved. And then
from the moves that the Clippers made this year, I will stick to them until injuries, bar none, happen. I'll stick to them and say that Paul George and Kawhi are second coming of Michael and Scottie. The way they play defense, the way Kawhi can create his shot. You're not telling me that as a Raptors fan, looking at him in the playoffs sometimes, it was watching Michael Jordan. I remember that game in Washington where it went to double overtime. Double overtime, he took over. Like Michael took over games consistently. And like Kawhi's 27 now. Like, you know what I mean? He just hit his prime this year. So we're not even talking about a player 2 years from now, how good he's going to be. I can't take a player going into the prime of his career over a player who's on the downhill. I can't. I understand how great
LeBron's on his downhill.
I really
28, 8 and 8, he's on his downhill. You just said he's on his downhill, and he just
compared to age-wise, yes. Can you?
You say age-wise? Tom Brady is 42, and he's still considered the freaking best quarterback.
It's a different sport.
That doesn't matter. He's still dominating at an older age.
It's a different sport. I'm not gonna like that. We're not gonna bring up football.
Football's a sport you don't last.
I can say baseball too.
Football's a sport you don't last, and look how long he's going.
Okay, so pitchers in baseball can pitch like 45.
But here's my point.
Infielder will only pitch to 37.
Okay, but here's my point. Tom Brady invests his money into his health like LeBron.
Bro, I get that. I understand. You said that already.
You say the man's going to be on his downhill?
Keep telling me that.
So how
I'm just letting you know, based on age, based on results, that's how life's been. Look at Dwayne Wade. He became 35. I forgot who Dwayne Wade was at.
Yeah, but Dwayne Wade was...
I love Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade...
we both knew Dwayne Wade was injury prone from since college, though.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. Like, we understand that. And I'm trying to explain to you, bar none injuries, I'll still take Kawhi.
That's good for you. I'm just trying to remind you that I'll still take LeBron against the field any day. Because even at 35, this guy's a still dominant player.
I never said I wouldn't. I'm just saying I'm taking Kawhi over LeBron.
All right. We'll see you at the end of this 2020 season.
Bro, that's all it is. Like, these are just estimations of us. Like, there's no guarantee that this is actually going to work out. You know what I mean? But
facts.
We'll see.
And LBG going to be like...
Johnny, do you still want to do rapid fire? Because we talked a lot about this, Joel, once we get in.
It's rapid fire for a reason. Quick, baby.
No, we'll just do the one. We'll just do one.
We'll just do one question?
Yeah, because every beginning of the month, I'll ask you who your finals prediction is. So who's your August NBA Finals prediction?
We just talked about. Okay, we can't because they're
The Clippers and the Bucks.
the Lakers and the Celtics.
Okay. There you go.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think the audience got too much what they wanted, but no. I mean, if you guys like, this is something that we
Yeah,
we do want to
keep
keep going. We like the ranking system. It really gets our bloods boiling for each other. So if you guys liked it, definitely leave a comment. Like,
yes. Leave a comment. Tell us what you want us to do. If you want us to get boxing gloves, that's not happening. Okay, because I know some of you would probably want that. I want me knocked out. You no, but no. On a real note, please give us some great feedback. We always want feedback. We always want to get better. We want to give you guys the best content you can.
exactly.
And yeah, we want to do things right. But yeah, I think that's it. Like and subscribe. Say it again for me.
Like
And subscribe. Make sure you do it. Our season's coming to end though.
Yeah.
For Extra Step soon. But our next season's gonna be exciting. And I think we'll probably have a bigger fan base too. You think so?
I think so.
Oh yeah. Big things are coming, guys. Big things are coming. But don't worry, we're still gonna put out content for the summer. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
And take that extra step, baby!